back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. This is the December 2020 Tarotscope for the sign of Aquarius. So if you have a sun, moon, or rising or heavily placed planets, and I would say that would mean like 3 or more planets in the sign of Aquarius, you may want to watch this video just to kind of see how your December may go. This is a broad spectrum reading intended for quite a few different people. So it will be sort of broader in scope. It will just give you a little insight into what kind of a December you might experience as an Aquarius and the energy of Aquarius, what they might be dealing with, facing, working on throughout the month. So essentially take what you need and kind of leave the rest. If anything doesn't make sense, if you are an Aquarius and you're like, this doesn't resonate or it's not adding up to what I'm dealing with, that's okay. You might be just working on something totally different. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. It just means that, you know, you might be working on a different, you know, set of goals. Who knows? It could be other influences of your planets or, you know, the houses. There's many different factors. So don't worry. It just means that you're working on something different. If you make any decisions in your life after having watched this video in regards to your December, these decisions would be your responsibility. So just keeping that in mind, always use your best and highest, you know, intelligence, intuition, that sort of thing first and foremost. Never take anything I say over the recommendations of a, you know, professional, say a doctor, therapist, or lawyer. I'm not trying to fill that role for nobody. So let's see. Oh, all right, Cap Aquarius cuts. Hey, Mary, thank you for joining me. I have an Aquarius moon, you know, so my subconscious is based in Aquarius, and I think it's in like, I can't remember, I think it's in either the 11th or 12th house, which is all dreamy. So let's see what the Aquarians need to know for this month coming up. And then after this, I will sign off and do the other 2 air signs. I got caught up today and sort of meant to do this earlier so I could get both air and water, but it looks like water will have to get done tomorrow. All right, so the first card is the signifier card, or sort of like the guide card for the month. This is from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. And I do have an unboxing for all of these decks. If you look on my unboxing list, if you purchase them through Amazon, you will give me a little sort of finder's fee through Amazon. So this is to sort of signify sort of what we need to be concentrating on or looking at, dealing with. Sort of it could be the theme for the month for the Aquarians. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is Broken Arrow. This is embrace the energy of peace. So what I feel about this is right out of the gate, with these sort of shields, there's a couple of cards in this deck that have these sort of shield images. And another sign got it. I can't remember one arrow. I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, that sign that got it, I got this real directness from that card. I felt like, you know, keeping your eye focused on the goal, that sort of thing. When I see this broken arrow, what I feel like is the peace is in the center here. I feel like there's a pause that the Aquarians need to take this month. It doesn't mean that we give up on whatever it is that we're working on. It means that we stop and sort of maybe take inventory and embrace this energy of peace. Take a rest or a pause wherever that works for you during this month. It could be the entire month for the Aquarians. And I feel like we pick our journey back up and continue to go in whatever direction we were headed. I hope that makes sense to you. I will get into the tarot cards and see what they're telling me, and that I might be able to get more of a meaning from this. But to me, this is all about being centered in the center of that shield. And that center speaks to this idea of maybe giving ourselves a break. And this break, again, this is intended for a lot of different Aquarians. So if this break is like, say we're an Aquarius that is really self-critical, maybe this month is the month to stop that, to rest in the center and stop criticizing yourself. Or maybe you're judgmental of others, right? You're an Aquarian that's like picking apart other people at their flaws and their inadequacies. Then we stop in the middle and we take a break from that and we give ourselves a little bit of rest because it's bringing us nothing but frustration. Say, you know, we're just an Aquarian that feels like We're getting it from all sides right now. Nothing is really working out for us. We want to stop in the middle of that, take a deep breath, get recentered, and get back to our goal again. But we need this pause. We need this space of peace to maybe clear our mind, our head, and maybe replenish our energetic stores in a way, or our goals. It doesn't mean that our goals are off, wrong, broken, or bad. I don't even feel like this is a broken thing, even though the card is called Broken Arrow. I feel like this is more like a pause while we sort of rejuvenate ourselves to move forward into 2021. So let's see what comes out of the tarot, and we will further deduce what's going on here. Hey, Melinda Lane, how are you, dear? LOL on the judgment. Awesome, dear. Well, Aquarians are highly intelligent, you know, and you guys are like very social. I mean, I have an Aquarius moon, so I kind of know a little bit about it. And Aquarians are air signs, so they're extremely mental, right? So you guys are thinking all of the time, and usually in big, expansive ways. They're also big, sort of big picture thinkers, right? And so I think that sometimes we need to back ourselves off, and I feel like that's maybe what this that's what this Broken Arrow card is calling for. It's just to take a pause in the center, take in that inhale, breathe this month, and we can get right back to whatever our goals or our desires are, maybe in, say, the end of December or towards January. So let's look at the center card. This is the U card. It tells me a bit about sort of where the Aquarians are going to be centered at for most of the month. You'll go in and out of this card throughout the month, but it gives me insight into kind of, you know, the overall theme of the month and also what you could potentially be creating for the future. Oh, I love this. So this is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is considered in certain circles as the twin flame card, right? Because we have the two wands here and the two wands here, which make that 11-11. And we just came through the 11-11 portal, I believe. We also have that full moon coming up on the 30th, leading us into the final month of December. And when I think about this, this kind of reminds me of a full moon in a funny way. All right, so Four of Wands, fours I'll always bring my mind to this state of stability. Wands being the element of fire is very complementary to Aquarian energy. Wands are about desire. Wands are about sort of setting up the fact. I feel like the Four of Wands, if it's not a romantic situation, right? This could be like we're attracting a partner for some of us. This isn't going to be all my Aquarians, but some of you, you might really be kind of generating out that attraction right now, or calling to a soulmate or a significant other, or deepening a relationship that you might already have going on in your space. But for others, I would look at this more of about like sort of cementing our desires, or like sort of setting the foundation for what it is we truly want. And that's probably why we see this pause here, because we don't want to be impetuous or too quick with it. Wands energy can be quite fast and it can burn. And it needs air energy to burn, right? That's why air and fire are complementary to one another in like the zodiac. And so fire feeds off of air. And when we have this complementary element as our center, I feel like this is very auspicious for us as far as sorting out what we want, how we're going to go about getting it, getting firm in the plan or the steps that we're going to take. And I think that's some of this pause that we have here. This might be a month of planning, not necessarily taking much action. Wands is about taking action, but I feel like this is, because it's a four, it'll be about setting up the stage for us to begin to move forward. Now, this move forward, you guys have to decide what that move is for you. If like one Aquarian, it might be a move towards a relationship. Another might be an actual physical move to a new town or home or city. Another one of you, it might be a move to a new job. But whatever it is, we're looking at what we're desirous of, what we want, and how we can sort of set about a firm plan to put that into action as we move forward, maybe towards the end of the month or in the beginning of next year. So let's look at the next card. This is the foundation. This is sort of, I call this the foundation because I use the analogy, it's like a foundation of a house. So this is the card from the past that everything is built upon. This card gives me a little insight into what was going on in the past, but it also can give me insight into kind of what memories from the past could be holding everything still in place, could be driving us in the now. So let's see. Wow. Okay, Eight of Wands. This could very well be a love reading. For those of you with a Venus in Aquarius, you may want to watch this just because Wands is very desirous, fiery, passionate. And Eight of Wands can be a declaration of love. It's usually a message coming from afar. It can also signify travel. So this being in the past, and it's also usually fast travel, like fast moving energy. This is probably one of the fastest cards in the deck. I always associate like Eight of Wands and Chariot as kind of the two fastest like movement cards out of all of the cards in the tarot. So when I'm looking at this, it means that there was a lot of action taken probably in the past to move us towards our goals. There's maybe a lot of desire. We've maybe needed to slow down, and that's why we're almost bringing it down from an 8 to a 4 in the present month. And this is that break that I'm telling you about, that we might need to, there might have been a lot of movement in the past, and then we have to pause here, take a breath, maybe reconfigure, replan, and we're replanning around whatever it is we're desirous of. The desire here is deep. Both of these cards being wands, the element of fire, that is also the element of the spirit. So it speaks to me that the Aquarians are kind of looking at bigger picture stuff right now, what they're truly in line with, what they truly desire. That could be a little bit scary for some of you, as it would be for any sign, right? But I feel like the intensity of these two cards, and I mean that in a good way, could be a little intimidating. And that's why we might want to slow down and pause, because to me, the picture that I'm getting right now in my mind's eye is like the Aquarians, it feels like you guys are bringing in big fish, right? Like you've cast your line. Excuse me, I need water. You've cast your line back here in the past, right? You put that desire out there. This is what I want. This is what I desire. This is what I love. Bring it to me and bring it to me quick. And now it's starting to maybe come in. It's starting to maybe feel real. Or there's the possibilities out there, because that Four of Wands tells me you're still working towards it, but now you're getting real serious about it. And there's a much more like, I would say grounded nature, because it is a Four of Wands. There's a much more grounded nature of seeing it as a potential reality at this point. It's no longer just sort of like a dream. Does that make sense? And so we want to make sure we net this fish. We want to make sure whatever this metaphorical fish may be for you, if it's, you know, the perfect job, the perfect boyfriend, the getting married, whatever it is, if we want to land it, we want to be very careful about, well, I don't want to say careful, but I think we're being a little bit more methodical about how and what steps we take right now. And that might be some of this pause. And also this idea of embracing and bringing in this energy of peace. We want to infuse whatever this is that we're working on, whatever this is that we're focusing on, with that idea of peace, because it will help to sort of ground some of this fiery wands energy and bring it to us. And with it comes like whatever we infuse into it. I know this sounds a little crazy, but whatever we infuse into it, into this desire, we kind of will get back. So if we're creating something wonderful, or if there's something that we desire that feels like it would be wonderful, sitting in that peace or the contentment that will bring once it arrives, it'll bring that contentment back to us. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, but that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from these cards. The next card is the Spirit or Soul Space. This is what your higher self is working on during this month, or wants you to focus on or pay attention to. Okay, so we have the Knave of Pentacles. This is similar to, it is the Page of Pentacles in a traditional tarot deck, or, you know, a more traditional tarot, but Knave is pages. Usually signifies a younger person, could be an earth sign. It is the element of earth. Pentacles usually deals with material wealth, things like that. Knaves to me, or pages, always have a youth to them. So they're always kind of learning, growing. There's an optimism to them. The Pentacles energy to me is about slowing down, and the Knave is about learning. So when I look at this being in your soul space, it immediately says to me, okay, Aquarians, there is this pause that needs to take place, and our soul wants it for ourselves, because our soul understands what we're working on here, whatever triggered off for us. I don't know if it was a few months ago, last year, whatever, the desire was there. And the movement took place. We started to move towards this goal, even if that wasn't an actual like physical move. Steps started to be taken towards the desire of this. That's that Eight of Wands energy, and that's also the energy in the foundation that's driving all of this, right? This strong desire for movement towards that goal. So we're getting serious with this Four of Wands at our center, and we're going, okay, how do I do this without screwing this up? It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. What our soul is saying is, okay, don't worry, I'll teach you. Let's ground this and make it material, right? That's the Pentacles aspect of this knave here. And then in the teaching aspect is also the knave. Now, there is a patience here in the Knave of Pentacles. One of this, I feel like in my personal opinion, this is not necessarily a true fact about tarot, but I kind of feel like the Knight of Pentacles is one of the slowest moving cards, right? And the Knave would probably come right after, right? He's just, the only reason why he's slightly faster in my mind is because he's a Knave, so he's got that youthful exuberance that the Knight kind of is older and more steady and grounded. So when I think of the Knave of Pentacles, there is a slowness to him, and he kind of balances out the swiftness that I feel is in that Eight of Wands below you in your foundation. Does that make sense, guys? So what I'm talking about is, if you guys find yourself in December wanting to move forward and getting a little bit frustrated, lean into the fact that slow movement and patience is something that might be coming from your higher self to teach you or help you to keep this Four of Wands energy in the center, where you stay grounded and productive in what you're doing, and you don't like get too ahead of yourself or make any mistakes, that sort of thing. Remember, the Page of Wands, even though he's slower and needs patience, there's an exuberance and a youth to him. There's an excitement to him that we want to keep while we're still working towards our goals. If so, like, I'll use this as an example. It may not apply to all of you, but if there's something that jumps in the way of, say, our plans this month and it slows us down, don't take this as a bad thing. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't give up on your plans altogether. Don't get frustrated and focus on the negative. Learn, like the Knave would learn, about how to ground, reestablish, breathe, bring on that peace, and you'll continue to move forward again when the time is right. But you have to trust all of that. And that's sort of this Knave's job, or why the soul is bringing that to you this month. Now, the next two cards are what I call the outside influences. These cards tell me a little bit about what's affecting us during the month of December. It could be either positive or negative, but they're just things that we need to be aware of. So let's see. Oh, and they can be people, events, sometimes things more vague, like belief systems or energies that could be affecting us. So this is the Four of Pentacles. I like that we have another 4. If you get a 4 on the other side, I'm going to freak out because it'll be 4, 4, 4. But I like that this is sort of in line with this Four of Wands. To me, Pentacles, obviously, again, we're talking about earth energy. We are talking about material wealth or things in the material world, like our home, our personal items. It could be, valuables. Sometimes it can be relationships. But when I look at this Four of Pentacles, to me, this is about maybe balancing or finding a little bit more stability in our financial sector. Let me just look at this for a second. I feel like also there's a slowness to this Four of Pentacles. For some reason, this scale that is here in the card, you see him holding that scale. I kind of feel like this is a little bit slow. Like, if some of my Aquarians are frustrated with money, jobs, things that they want to move quicker, and again, this is that Knave of Pentacles up in the spirit space, we have to just sort of like roll with it and let it come as it may. Even if it sort of trickles in right now, it's not a bad thing. The Four of Pentacles, to me, it doesn't necessarily signify. It just sort of like things need to come in at more of a slower pace. I'm not exactly sure why. It might be so that we can take this opportunity to take the pause. Like, if too much came at us right now, we'd be going too quickly into 2021. So again, I just feel like there will be an effort to sort of stabilize our financial situation, or there will be opportunities to do so, but they may not be so sort of so apparent right out of the gate, right? This isn't like the 10 of Pentacles or something really abundant. This is like maybe meager shifts or a little bit coming in at a time. That's also sort of Knave of Pentacles too. It can be breadcrumbing in a way, but to me, I'm getting that vibe from the Four of Pentacles where it's like, it's coming in, but it's not coming in as fast as we would like it. And that's some of this push from the Eight of Wands. We've got that Eight of Wands in the background going like, well, I did all that work way back when. Why is it not paying off? Patience, Aquarians. Patience is the word here. And I also want to say, like with the Four of Pentacles, whatever does come in this month, be grateful for it. Like, honor it. Bring about that sense of peace by finding that gratitude for whatever is coming in, because as it comes in, it will help. Every little bit will sort of help. And it's also sort of, I get this feeling that this Four of Pentacles is growing. Like, it just needs time. It's sort of the message that I'm hearing in my head is just give it time, just be patient, trust in that the desire of what feels right to you. That's also that Four of Wands energy. Allow that to kind of continue to carry you through this month and keep that sort of positive, peaceful focus. The path will reopen, or the opportunities that you saw or felt were there are still there, even if they're not materially showing up just yet, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. All right, let me look at this next card and see. Oh shit, okay. We got the Two of Cups. So Aquarians, there is some love going on here for some of you. Two of Cups. Cups is the element of water and the emotions. The Two of Cups is probably one of the most romantic cards, secondary to the Lovers in the deck, or, you know, the Four of Wands even. When we have the Four of Wands in the center and we have that Two of Cups on the outside, I really think that the Aquarians could be attracting something to them that they don't necessarily realize. Okay, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a love tangent here, because I think that there is a love reading in here for some of you. It may not be for all of you. So those of you that are in relationships, that are happy, that aren't looking for love, you know, this may not apply to you. Or those of you that are single and just aren't interested in a relationship right now, this may not apply to you. You know, you can apply some of these things. This Two of Cups could represent, for those of you that I just mentioned, this could be the deepening of a pre-existing relationship that you're already in, or it could be the deepening of your relationship with yourself, right? That's also how I see twos, as sort of, we can sort of commune with ourselves, like our mind and ego can come together with our spirit, and we can have a better appreciation of who we are, right? So that might be what's going on for you guys, where there's opportunities to do that, especially within this piece that this is asking us to do. This card is asking us to do this month. But for some of you, there's very much sort of like, I feel like the possibility of some kind of powerful love. Like the Eight of Wands to me is a delivery of love, or a message of love being delivered. And that being in the past says that somewhere you guys might have popped off and put out into the universe, God, I really want that, the one. Right? The Four of Wands to me in the center speaks to, like, it feels like a beacon for my Aquarians. Like you guys could be putting that vibe out into the world in a very pure, desirous sort of way. And you could be calling to you something rather significant in the month of December. I'm not saying it's going to all be locked and loaded. And what I mean by that is the Two of Cups is about that sort of love, that sort of bonded, maybe soulmate-y, emotionally connected energy, right? But that Four of Pentacles feels like it might move at a slower pace. Also, that Knave of Pentacles speaks to this idea of, if you're feeling like it's not moving as quick as you would like, or you're getting mixed signals, or maybe you're feeling a little bit like you might even be in some of your situations, you might be being breadcrumbed in a way. This is all to teach you patience, all to teach you how to be at peace, all to teach you how to sort of, I don't want to say take what you can get, but like accept what is there for you, even if it's coming in sort of in a moderate, balanced, step-by-step sort of way. That's kind of that Four of Pentacles energy. Because there's an opportunity here. And it to me, with the Four of Wands in the center and the Two of Cups on the outside influences, speaks to this idea that it's almost like you're calling it in this month. You've been somewhere in the past, you sort of set off the desire, or the put out the message that you were ready, and it could be coming to you. Okay, so for those of you that are looking for love, this could very much be the month that love, I'm going to say this, that love starts to materialize. All right, I'm not saying it's gangbusters full bore, like boom, 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 because that Knave of Pentacles up in the spirit space says to me that there's going to be patience, and that Four of Pentacles says to me that it may come at a little bit slower than you guys want, because that Eight of Wands is hot. Like, it wants to go. So for those of you that are looking for love, it's a possibility. Keep on the lookout for it. And just, I want to say this too, this Four of Wands in the center is really about being really self-assured in who you are, what you desire, and what you deserve. That's kind of the vibe that I get from this. It's really wonderful. And so when you're in this energy this month, and that's also this kind of period of staying in this sense of peace, right? Allowing yourself moments to pause, reinvigorate, breathe, reestablish your connection to what it is you desire, and owning that, and then grounding in that and learning from that in that Knave of Pentacles energy, being patient. It's all being brought to you. It's all kind of coming to you. You're calling it in, and just being aware of that is a power in and of itself, right? So somebody might show up through this Two of Cups energy, somebody that might pique your interest, or it's somebody that you've had your eye on, maybe even. There might start to come around in this month. And as they come around, be patient. Keep sort of in that Four of Wands sort of vibe, right? And just be appreciative and at peace as much as possible, because like I said, what we imbue it with right now is what it's going to bring back to us. So if we're looking at it, and I'm going to just use this as an example, if we're looking at it and we're like frustrated because it's not coming fast enough, and we're like, what the fuck are they doing? I don't understand. I feel like I'm being breadcrumbed. They're driving me nuts. They're giving me mixed signals. Then by the time they really arrive, it's going to give you nothing but headaches, guys. So don't do that to yourself. Stay in peace and allow this to come. And this is only for those of you that are seeking love, okay? So that's sort of the message that I'm getting there. For the singles, like I said, this could be a deepening of an appreciation within yourself through esteemable acts that you get to produce and be a partake in throughout the month of December. Again, you know, I like that Four of Pentacles in the sense that it feels stable. It doesn't feel like a huge influx of abundance coming in, but it feels like maybe we're stabilizing our work situation, our money situation. We're feeling more, you know, appreciative of it, and also more emotionally connected to ourselves or to maybe a significant other that already exists in our world. These are the opportunities that are coming in this month. So staying in the center in this peace is going to help to also produce those sort of balanced, peaceful results that we see here. All right, the next card is the potential outcomes for the month of December. It is not set in stone, guys. This card is sort of like a predictive card. It's in the future. We have free will and choice. So if this is a negative card, we can use it as a warning right now to make choices and changes now as we progress through the month to avoid this card coming to pass. If this is a positive card, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally kind of flowing towards it, and we don't have to change much to experience this as an outcome, okay? Oh, beautiful. I love it. Shit. All right, so it's the Ace of Cups, guys. So this to me, if I don't want to be all Aquarian love reading, but I really see this as like, oh shit, the Aquarians are in trouble. Aces are about new beginnings. They're about sort of things that were unseen coming to light or surprising us by month's end. I love the peacefulness of this angel, right? We talk about living in this energy of peace in the month. Well, look at how the Aquarians are walking into the year 2021, right? Talk about peaceful. She's got that white dove of peace above her head. She's bearing water like an Aquarian. Even though this is a water card, right? It's an Ace of Cups. There's not, like this to me, other than the star, this is really the only water bearer in this deck. She's actually doing what comes natural to Aquarians, right? She's this peaceful, beautiful, self-appreciative angel. She understands who she is. That would be the ace aspect of this card in my mind, or where my mind is taking me. So I love that she sort of exists on her own, in her own fullness and emotional wellness. That would be the cups aspect of this. And the ace aspect would be self-focus. So we feel whole, Aquarians, as we're moving into 2021. We're bearing ourselves in a way, or carrying ourselves in a way that is emotionally available. And that's beautiful, right? And that's sort of also this kind of spirit 4 and 8, these wands energies that are driving us ultimately through the month, and this piece is carrying us into 2021, where I almost feel like, and this could apply to all Aquarians, those not even looking for a relationship, but I kind of feel like you're ready to be seen again in some way, shape, or form. There's a part of you that is, there's an excitement and a newness to aces that I love, right? And as I see her carrying this chalice that's overflowing with this water, right, which would be like our emotional well-being, or owning our emotions and who we are from a very peaceful state, we're able to like sort of lead with that into 2021. So whether we're showing that to a potential significant other and sharing that with them, that's beautiful. Or if we're just sharing that with our friends and family and our loved ones, that's beautiful too. But it speaks to the idea that, you know, there's a, how do I want to say this, like a truer form of ourselves that we're working with by month's end, a more pure form of ourselves. That the piece of that dove above her head also gives me this sort of symbol of purity, right? And so when I'm thinking about this as the outcome, it speaks to this idea of really owning who we are, how we feel emotionally, not hiding it. There's no need to hide it, because you are truly at peace. It's not like anybody's even going to come to you and be like, girl, you're whack. Calm down. It's like, there's none of that here. To me, it feels like there's just this really true version of who you are at the end of the year. And you're ready to lead with that walking into 2021. I also feel like the Ace of Cups can also very much be about new love, right? And so whether that's love of ourselves and appreciation of ourselves, because it is the ace, so that could be very self-focused love, which is great, but it could also be us presenting and ready to accept that love from another person because of that 2 of Cups that's sitting over there, and that 4 of Wands. Some of you, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say, some of you all, and it may be a very few of you, or maybe you won't even watch this, but somebody out there at this reading, there's some Aquarian out there that this reading is about their one. I really feel that when I'm looking at this, is that they've put out the signal in the past through that 8 of Wands. They're calling it in with that 4, and it's about patience and timing and just learning how to allow yourself to be at peace while the universe works everything out. And boom, at the end of the month, like I say this, also, the ace, and I think I'm running long on this one, I'm sorry guys. The ace is about the self too, at it being a number 1. So if you're not like locked down in a relationship by the end of the month, do not fret. The ace speaks to this idea that some of us, like I said, it's not necessarily we're gonna fully be in that relationship this month. There's that slowness of the Knave and the 4 of Pentacles that means that we have to just stand in our truth and who we are and what we desire and how we feel, and share that with the world. And as we do that, there's going to be that response is coming back. It's already coming to us in that 2 of Cups. It's already around us in the month of December. But don't lose hope if you don't, have the one. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I just don't want somebody to say, well, he said I was gonna fall in love and it didn't happen. This is almost like, for some, the person or the story that I'm seeing here is that this is about falling in love with ourselves too, as much as we fall in love with another person. And so whether you're in a relationship or not, Aquarians, this is the month to do that for yourself. Give yourself that energy of peace, that space, you deserve it kind of thing, and understanding that. Okay, I hope that makes sense, you guys. That is your Aquarian reading. It's actually quite beautiful, and I'm a little bit jealous. I'm hoping some of this rubs off on me because of my Aquarius moon. So I actually know somebody that's a double Aquarius. I should tell them about this. But anyways, that is there for you. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed it. If you're interested in a private reading, you can certainly contact me at the Facebook business page. And if you're watching on Facebook, please feel free to go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and vice versa. If you're watching on YouTube, please go over and like the Facebook business page. Please share this video with any Aquarians you know, especially those that are looking for love, because they might need to see this. This might be something that they, might give them the hope that they need to find the peace that they want, that will bring that person right to them, or at least a better appreciation of themselves. And who wouldn't want some of that? This looks like a really beautiful month. The only thing I will say is, like, there is this, this broken arrow part too is about, I'm fixated on the center of this card. And to me, it's like it's sort of like the patience that we see in the Four of Pentacles and the Knave of Pentacles. Don't think that just because things aren't working out in your timing that you're off plan or you're not still walking the path of this arrow. That's the key here, guys. So this month is about, really staying in that peace and self-appreciation and seeing how and what that vibration brings you. All right, thank you so much, you guys. And your boyfriend's an Aquarius, Sonia. Well, maybe he's going to get it together and start showing you a truer, more beautiful version of himself, because this looks like there's definitely a possibility of a deepening of love for him, and possibly you. You could be that Two of Cups in this reading, dear. So you're welcome, Susan. All right, so enjoy your guys' December, and I will see you guys soon. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will be back momentarily to do, who's next? I guess Gemini, and then Libra. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye-bye.